Hi. Okay, we learned about introception and extroception and did a quick reflection. Now we're on triggers, internal triggers, external triggers. Similar to what we talked about in the previous lesson, but internal triggers, emotions, feelings can trigger this response in my body and these thoughts in my mind. Boredom, pain, so forth. External triggers are people, places, and things, situations I'm in, where, our mind is so conditioned and programmed that when I go into a place, my mind's already picking out similarities from the present to relate to the past or to worry about the future. And adding in my trauma and my diagnosis, this was just heightened where triggers, my mind was drawn to triggers. My eyes were drawn to triggers to feed my narratives that I was living. And I will give you an example, some external triggers that I had. The door slamming took me back to the attack, running around in the quad and things like that. Multiple conversations happening at once, even though I know people are cool. To me, it triggers a lot of uncomfortable feelings. The introception part, because the extroception part is perceiving these triggers to feed my body, and it's going back and forth in a loop. So there's many triggers. This is where knowing and getting some awareness on our internal and external triggers can really be healing and transformative, combined with our practice. Because these triggers are what takes us out of our window of clarity. And so talking about in the previous lesson with introception and extroception, and now talking about internal and external triggers, leads us into the lesson next, which is the pendulating practice. And we started this in Foundation Step 2 with looking at our thoughts, labeling them, and then pendulating with our pain in our body and our tension and our strength, and then a little bit of pendulating with the body scan. And so this is where we practice pendulating into the unpleasant of these triggers and intro and extroceptions and stress, things that take us out of our window of clarity. And remember, just like a pendulum goes back and forth, swinging, we want to swing into the unpleasant, the intrusive thoughts, the moments where we feel triggered, and then come back to an anchor, our resource, walk, whatever feels right in the moment, talk to our support person, and then come back. In and back, and swinging in. And the more we swing in and out into these uncomfortable and unpleasant sensations and thoughts and emotions, and then come back to where we feel safe, the more we work with them, these emotions and intrusive thoughts, and we're able to sit with them more, expanding our window. Reflection time. And Gently lowering your gaze to a focal point or closing your eyes. And bringing your awareness to any anchor of your choice. Remember the anchors of the posture, breath, body, and sound and sight. And reflecting on, am I aware of my internal triggers? Am I aware of my internal triggers? Am I aware of the external triggers? Am I aware of the external triggers that take me out of my window of tolerance? Now bringing your awareness back, bringing it back to your anchor of choice. And taking a moment to thank yourself for taking the time to gain insight